Okay, so here we have a video from Cosmic Verse. Shout out to him. He makes very good compilations. I don't always agree with all of his commentary, but oftentimes it's pretty on par with mine, just presented in a different way, but not always. But what I do like is the effort that he goes through to compile this stuff. I can't do it. I could not scour the internet and find these videos and compile them. I don't know that I'd have the patience. So thank you to Cosmic Verse for his efforts, and let's get right into it.
Why do men have this constant fear of being used for money that they don't even have?
What?
Oh, believe me, honey, there's other things you can take from them besides money. And just because they don't have money now doesn't mean they won't.
Pig, singles events are one of the most underrated ways to meet single women.
My
Why?
question is, what do you think is holding men back from wanting to go to a singles event? Do you?
It's a waste of time.
Nothing is holding them back. Really, they just know it's a waste of time to try.
You are either a
I haven't watched this yet, by the way, so yeah, him and I are on the same wavelength there.
girl that is approached, or you are a girl that is not approached.
All my attractive
Okay, that's true. You're not approached or you're approached. Yeah.
friends are single. I don't get hit on because I am intimidated.
The reason why clubbing culture is dead, in my personal opinion, is because there is no element of surprise, and it's become
Clubbing culture is dying because men have realized they're being used for the experience.
Yeah.
Kindly subscribe to the channel.
That's right. Subscribe to my channel, guys. You're not going to hear any more based, red-pilled truth than you do here. Nowhere else, okay? I am a philosopher, an actual philosopher, unlike some.
As it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
On my way to my first date in New York. First date in my new city. I'm trying to train myself to not do it on the first date anymore.
You need help.
Not do it on the first date. What does she mean? Oh, sleep. Yeah, I guess she means S. Sleep with the guy. Okay. Jeez.
I'm assuming for that guy. This is exactly what's happening at bars and clubs because men are no longer falling for it. They're
We're hot, but no menses are approaching us. Yeah. I wonder why, ladies, because you're obviously gold-digging trash. By the way, the guys that you want, they're not at bars, okay? They're working day and night. And if they want to hook up with some broad, they're just going on a dating app. They're swipe. They've got their DMs filled up with chicks that want to bang them, okay? Because they're top echelon dudes. They got plenty of options. They don't need to waste their time, spend their time going out to a bar. It's inefficient. They use Tinder now, okay? And whatever other Bumble, Plenty-O Fish, whatever dating app that they need to sign up for as an alternative because they've already banged so many of the broads on Tinder or whatever other dating app, and now they need some new fish, so they change apps, okay? They're not going to bars.
no longer just throwing their money out at women that do not take them seriously.
That
They are
too.
no longer willing to waste their time, effort, and resources. But because of this, women are out here trying to give men a bad rap. Like they're saying, what's wrong with men these days? They used to go to war. Now they just want to be treated like a woman at a bar. But that is just not the case because men will absolutely put in just as much effort as they always have into pursuing you. But it takes one thing. And that one thing is that he has to know that you are taking him seriously.
He also has to believe your wife material. And the way these broads dress when they go to these bars, even if this dude was at a bar and he thought he could find his future, you know, Mrs. Whatever there, he sees you in your shorts, skirt, low-cut top with all your piercings. No.
Because one of the number one resources to a man is his time, and he doesn't want you to waste it. And even if it's a short-term thing, like he just doesn't want to leave that relationship and have a messed up head and a messed up heart. Because that man just wants a future with somebody that he can really fall in love with. And
Yeah, I can attest to that. I mean, I've been there, I've done that, and no thank you. No more. Oh, shit, but he hurt you, realist? I've got a penis! Everybody with a penis has been hurt by a woman. What's your point?
grow old with, which is why
Am I allowed to say the word penis on YouTube? Probably not.
why he already knows with like 95% certainty that him paying for your drink at the bar is not going to bring him closer to that.
If you read what it says here, it says, "We're hot and no men are approaching us."
You've got to love the ego. Do you ever see men saying, "Oh, I'm attractive, I'm handsome. Why aren't the womans approaching me?" It sure smacks of entitlement, doesn't it? Yeah.
The thing is, with that, these women are at the club, expecting men to be all over them, spending money, buying them drinks, giving them attention just because they showed up. And because that's not happening, they're shocked, wondering what's going on. But what they don't realize is that this comes from a place of entitlement. They've been so used to getting instant attention that they can't handle when the energy shifts. Men aren't running to them anymore.
Well, yeah, these top tier dudes are the ones that they want. They know they don't need to spend no money. So if you're some broad expecting a man right at the gate to spend money on you, these high value dudes, and they're not high value because they're dumb, are like, just gonna go home and swipe through Tinder. If I really want to hook up that bad, why would I bother buying you a drink?
And that's confusing them. The truth is, men are tired of wasting their time and money on women who think their looks alone are enough.
Well, you should be saying high-tier dudes, because there's plenty of low-tier, simpy, beta, male, blue-pilled guys that will, unfortunately, spend money, and more importantly, time. Well, time and money on a woman that is not worth either.
The game has changed. This is what happens when men wake up and stop playing. This is a hit to their ego and self-esteem because they've probably never experienced something like this.
Single men, help me out here, okay? Leave it in the comments.
She's not bad looking. I think I would say she's a good looking broad, but she's in this video, so there's got to be something wrong with her.
DM me whatever you're most comfortable with. I actually want your opinion, believe it or not.
Okay, I see. She's trying to come across as genuine and heartfelt and maybe like one of the good ones, and she's just confused. And maybe you can educate me and help me understand, and then wifes me up. I can become a waifu, or whatever that is. A wife. Yeah, I can become a wife. Yeah. Okay, honey, we see through your tactics.
Your opinion counts just as much. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. My question is, what do you think is holding men back from wanting to go to a singles event?
Okay, so she's run out of ideas, right? Or maybe she runs singles events, or maybe she organizes them and is trying to get men to come to these events. So, she's trying to entice them by showing her pretty face, and it's probably not all that pretty, actually, without all that makeup and what might be filters. It's hard to say.
Do you think that men think they will look desperate?
No.
Do you think men are scared of rejection?
I mean, I think they see it as pointless because they know that unless they're one of the top tier dudes, the chicks aren't going to pick them. So I think they just see it as a waste of time. And the top tier dudes would never go to an event like this because that will require them to spend money. And they might be worth a lot because they're the top tier dudes. But that doesn't mean they just toss their money around. That's why they're worth a lot. They don't toss their money around like idiots. And then get laid for free.
Do you think it's a pride thing?
No.
Please, tell me. I would love to know the opinion on the male end because
I'm sure you would, because you want to get more attendees for singles events you are probably organizing. And you also want the attention and validation.
Really trying to kind of crack the code here. Like, what would it take for you men to feel more motivated to come to a singles event? So,
knowing it wasn't a complete and total waste of time. There's that.
So let me know in the comments. Thank you.
Changing women? Yeah, nothing you can do, honey.
Yeah, nightclubs are dying.
Look at this. Empty.
Modern dating dynamic problems. Nightclubs are shutting down and going broke because men left the clubs and women are confused. You ladies made it too easy for the guys that would spend money at these kind of expensive venues to just go on Tinder and Bumble and Hinge. Made it too easy for them to get tail. Men are focusing on self-improvement, fitness, business, and peace, while the club scene keeps wondering where all the men went. Yeah, the men were the ones that spent the money. That's why these clubs used to have ladies' nights. Do they still? Maybe some. I don't know. I haven't been to a club in 20 years, so I have no idea.
Nobody in there. Because men make it happen. We keep the establishments going. We spend our hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Men are done.
Is clubbing dead everywhere?
Why are
Maybe not everywhere, but
clubs all over the UK going from this to this?
22-3. Holy crap. Now, well, you might think, ooh, that gives me an advantage as a man. No, because those three dudes are losers, and they're not three guys that any woman wants that's in that club. The women that go to these clubs to try and find top-tier dudes, those three men are bottom tier, probably. Top-tier dudes don't go to clubs anymore, really.
Strippers say a market crash is guaranteed because the strip clubs are suddenly empty.
Where are the single men at? In Atlanta.
Atlanta nightlife right now is not the same.
Stop it.
Especially clubs.
Oh,
one of
no.
the biggest clubs, one of my favorites in Atlanta, it just closed down.
I'm here to tell you right now.
She's fat. I don't like strip clubs. Never interested me. Never, ever. It's already so artificial, so fake. The attention these women give you, so obviously just for your money. It's like, yo, I can't. I guess in that sense, I've always been a philosopher. I've been too. The truth has just always been so obvious to me. The truth is these women are just a bunch of opportunistic gold diggers, and they only see you as a walking, talking ATM. I can't stand strip clubs. Disgusting places. Especially when they got fatties like that working in them. Have some standards at least.
We don't care. Let me tell you.
The strip clubs are dying because women don't spend money when they go to the strip club. They're just there to leech off the guys who are actually paying for the drinks and throwing the money. A lot of these modern women...
I went, and how I know is I went to one once as an intellectual experiment, not because I had any real interest. I was curious. I wanted to know what the appeal was. It was like, what is this? What are these places? Why do people keep talking about this? So when I was in my 20s, I went to one, and I sat there. It was this big fat broad dancing, and it was like, this is the big deal? And then some broad came up to me and asked me to buy her a drink, and I was like, could you go away? I'm thinking. I was like, it was one of the strippers. I was like, whatever, okay. Maybe this is, maybe this will be interesting. It was a $75 drink! Like 1990 money. I was like, what the I didn't bring... How much money did I bring? I look at my wallet. I was like, holy shit. I'm going to go home. How am I going to get home? Don't know, for gas? I was like, this is what people are fascinated with? No. And I never went back to one ever again. I was like, wow. I was just curious. I wanted to know. And I saw, and I was like, wow, this is pathetic. What's the fascination?
Are sitting around wondering what's happening to the club scene. But it's actually quite simple. Men have stopped playing the fool. These women don't understand that clubs are empty because the men who used to fill them stopped showing up. They'd rather keep their money, focus on themselves, or spend time with women who actually value them, not ones who treat them like walking ATMs. We even have women-only nightclubs now, and some are completely empty. You know why? Because women don't go to clubs to spend money. They go...
Women-only nightclubs? How does that work? Are they lesbian? Is this a female gay club?
Where men are spending money, these women-only clubs expose the truth. The nightlife scene survives off men's wallets, not women's presence.
Have you heard about this phrase, heterofatalism? It refers to the fatigue that single women are facing in dating, the
ugly.
fatigue they have with single men.
Well, you definitely look fatigued, honey, that's for sure.
The argument is that men aren't showing up in dating wholly. Like, there's not enough men at dating events, or when you do meet them, they might be really engaged with you on the date, and then afterwards they sort of back away meekly. And I see some truth in it because specifically at dating events, I go to dating events all the time, and I meet...
Lady, you're hideous.
fabulous women all the time. And it just doesn't feel the same for men. And I actually feel like it's an absolutely missed opportunity, because if you're a guy who's single, dating events are made for you. They don't work against you.
Sure they do, because the only men that these women at these events are looking for are the top 5-10% of dudes. So unless you're over X height and make over Y amount and aren't fat, and you got to look a certain way and have a certain amount of money in your wallet, they don't care. And that's why these women are at these dating events, because they can't find a man. Even though men are everywhere. Because their standards are ridiculously high. So if as a man you go to a dating event and you listen to this dumb broad who's saying, well, you know, they're made for you, they're tailor-made for you because there's no men there. So if you go, you'll be like one of only 2-3 guys in a room of 100 women. Who cares? These 100 women have proven that their standards are absurd. If their standards weren't absurd, they wouldn't be single at that age. Which, from looking at you, appears to be about 50.
Everybody is single. Everybody wants to speak to somebody.
No, they want to speak to somebody who makes 6 figures and is over 6 feet tall. Okay.
And women are really there to meet you.
No,
so I don't want to say that I'm heterofatalistic. I'm much more of an optimistic person, but I do recognize that it kind of...
You might have more luck if you put some makeup on, sweetheart. Or maybe the problem is she's worn too much for too many years. Worn out her face. It looks like an old catcher's mitt. Yikes.
Feels like right now, that nobody's really winning in dating.
I love to be the one to say it. Club culture dying
It's because of women, not men.
is a huge reflection on how prominent the DL community actually is. Let's think about this.
What's DL? Does that stand for like on the down low? I don't know. Maybe I'm too old. I thought that meant down low. On the down low. Like I don't know.
For a second, that video that girl made, the viral video about how club culture is dying because guys want to be the girls now, because men are so concerned being the center of attention. Basically, everything used to be about the woman. And why are men okay with this shift in priority? And
Lady, it's still about the women. Okay? And the women only want dudes that fit very narrow criteria.
why has the priorities shifted in general? I think it could be for a couple things. One, I do think some men actually just like to flex on other men, and it's kind of like a big dick swinging contest. But that also used to include who would have the most women in their section and who would have the most beautiful women. That's not even something a lot of men are even checking for anymore, and it's because they don't like us. They really...
I don't know what she's talking about. And men not liking women? Well, I don't like you already. That's just because you're stupid and you won't shut up.
don't care about the women. They never did. And the fact that a lot of men are not
So this is some major cope, huh?
caring about the fact that their sections are just filled with men should be very telling as to how they actually feel. There's a lot.
I thought men weren't going to the clubs. Now they are, but they're just hanging out with other men. Maybe you're thinking of a sports bar, honey. I don't know.
A lot of men's dream come true, and that's why it's
Is a sports bar a club? I don't think so.
not fucking changing. I do think there are two scenarios. One, the ego trumps your desire for women so much to the point where you're willing to be sharing a bottle with 20 other dudes to feel important and to feel like you're in a space of importance, opposed to actually prioritizing being around women. And they want to feel important so bad to the point where they're all fighting to get one Instagram story of one bottle that they didn't even fucking pay for, or they're just DL, or they dislike men. And that's...
But could anybody imagine spending more than 5 minutes with this broad and not going insane? I mean, she's a vapid, airhead moron.
That's exactly where they want to be, and they're happy in their home.
That's just the kind of response I'd expect from a modern woman. She made the claim that these clubs are dying because men are down low, that men don't like women anymore.
Oh, she's implying they're gay. Oh, okay. I see. That's a huge cope, honey. I ain't gay, I'll tell you that. I just don't want to be around somebody like you. You can't shut up.
And that they want to be the girls now. Of course, that's all wrong. The real reason a lot of men don't care to have these so-called beautiful women in their sections anymore is because, honestly...
She's okay. She's cute. Maybe a 6. A little above average, but, I mean... Okay. You're not that great, honey. Those nails are... Ugh.
They're not that beautiful. Many of them today look exactly the same. Same lips, same nose, same body type, same heavy makeup. It's like they all went to the same doctor or followed the same Instagram filter in...
Yeah, I don't know. Are those lips real? I mean, she looks like she might be thin. I'll give her that. Seems an almost impossible task for women these days not to carry the fork to the mouth too much, so... I'll at least give her that.
Real life. What used to be considered beauty has become manufactured. There's no mystery, no uniqueness, no personality. Just a copy and paste look with a loud attitude and an even louder sense of entitlement. Men see through that now. They don't feel the need to impress women who all act and look like clones.
Go for the young one, not the old one. And before you get triggered, hear me out. I'm not saying every younger woman is better, and I'm not saying every older woman is damaged. There are always exceptions to the rule, but there is a reason men often marry and search for younger women, and it's not just about looks. It's about moldability, how you were able to mold something. If
they can have kids, dummy. I mean, there's that as well. But I'm not... I don't necessarily want to mold some broad. What? No. I mean, it's just more about agreeability, right? Like you haven't picked up too many bad habits. I mean, I talked to some broad earlier today that I was forced into this person's space, and she was some lawyer chick, and she just wouldn't shut up. She kept trying to impress me with how much she knew and how intelligent she was, and super disagreeable, yappy, big mouth, thought she knew everything, and anything talked about she had an opinion on. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, you don't get that as much with the younger broads, okay? You could argue they're ditzy, and that's why I like them. None of the men like them, whatever. But they're not as loudmouthed and arrogant and opinionated, generally speaking. And they're fertile, so they're better looking to us. It's not complicated.
you're a good man, a strong leader, a real teacher, you want a woman who's willing to learn, adapt, and grow with you. You want to build together. But what?
Well, yeah, you don't want two men. I mean, this chick was acting very masculine. Yeah, I want to lead. I want to be the dominant force in regards to decision making, in the application of logic and reason and problem solving. I want to serve a visible, obvious role and one that plays to my nature. I don't want to be with some broad that acts like a man. This chick was very manly characteristics, which a woman would have to take on to be a lawyer. Well, I don't want that.
Are you going to teach a woman who's already hardened by life, who is stuck in her ways, carries more baggage than luggage, and argues every time you try to lead or guide her?
That's another problem with these older broads. They got the baggage. They've went out looking for Chad and Tyrone, to the way they learn and explore self is just to bang a lot of guys and feel a lot of different feelings with a lot of different dudes, and that messes them up. And then they need to heal. Do they ever heal? From all the damage they do to themselves, and the older they are, the more damaged.
That is not partnership, that is combat. See,
a
younger woman still has curiosity. She's open. She's impressionable. If she's with the right man, she becomes an advantage because she's being shaped in love, not control. What's easier to mold, clay or a hardened stone? Men are builders by nature. They build careers, empires, and families. So of course they're drawn to women who want to be built with, not women who fight the blueprint that he lays down. It's not about age. It's about your attitude. It's about your openness, softness.
Well, some of it's about age then,
And the willingness to evolve.
Why do men have this constant fear of being used for money that they don't even have?
Oh, I don't know. Let's take a moment and think about this, though, okay?
There's always something that could get taken. And by the way, if you're together with a dude, anything that you get during that marriage is 50-50. So, meaning it's yours. So if he's acquired any assets of any kind while you're married, guess who's probably going to get them? Her!
It might have something to do with the...
Not to mention alimony, hello? Not to mention the fact that he may not have much now, but women don't tend to generally marry a dude. I mean, there are exceptions, right? There are loser broads. There are broads with low self-esteem. There are broads that don't have much in the way of ambition. But generally, if she's at least halfway decent looking, she wants to get with a dude that has potential. So he might not have much now, but what about 10 years, 15 years down the road? He might have plenty then, and you can take it all.
Veritable plethora of posts that are out there made by some women that are, one, indicating how exactly you can get more money out of a guy by acting in a certain way, or that a lot of women won't date a man unless he makes a certain amount of money, or it could also be that there are some women that actually indicate that unless the guy is spoiling them financially, they don't want to be with him. Could it be any of those possibilities? Sure, some guys don't have a lot of money, but a lot of people, especially those that don't have a lot of money, are very protective of the money that they do have.
And the money they might have in the future, or the money they don't want to have to lose in the future, like alimony or child support. Who gets custody? It's like 80 something. I mean, it's the 80 percentile range. It's like 82 or 88. It's some ridiculous number. Women. So you got to pay child support, probably alimony too. So that makes it even worse because now you're going to have to pay money that you might not have. That actually makes it worse because, why are men afraid to pay money they don't have? Yeah, precisely. They don't have it, but they still got to pay it. So they go into hock. Have to live in a shoebox. Oh boy.
And seeing how many women out there are only after men for what they can get out of them in terms of finances, it does tend to make some men exceptionally more cautious when it comes to dating certain women.
Yeah.
Either this woman is blind to reality or she's purposely ignoring it. Men do not have a constant fear of being used for money. They've just learned to be cautious. And honestly, can you blame them? All they hear from modern women today is, if he doesn't do this, I don't want him. Or, if he's not spending money, he's not serious. That kind of mentality has made men pull back, not because they're cheap, but because they're tired of being seen as walking wallets instead of human beings. Men should be cautious with their money.
I do find that amusing, by the way, the lack of empathy women have not to understand that the way that they view men is highly objectified, and yet they don't want to be objectified and viewed as an object. It's so strange. They can empathize with babies and cats and dogs and other exotic pets, but not a man of the same species.
Especially in today's dating world, and even more so when it comes to marriage. Let's be real, a lot of women aren't looking for love. They're looking for a lifestyle. Too many of them treat relationships like investments they can cash out of when things don't go their way. And guess who ends up paying for it? The man. It's not fear, it's awareness.
Next time I go to the beach, y'all better hide your man. Hide your man, because I do not want to see them at the beach.
Oh, honey, not trying to be mean here, and I hate to break it to you, but we men don't want to see you either. As someone who lives near the beach and spends quite a bit of time there every single day, all I can say is I've seen things. Things no man should ever have to see. Because while y'all think you're tens, I'm sorry to say you're not. While y'all think you're rocking that string bikini, you know, the one with the thong stuck so far up your butt crack that it's going to take a team of miners and a canary to dig it out, the fact is most of you have more craters than the moon. And trust me, ain't no one that wants to see that. So how about you stay off our beaches so we can enjoy the beauty of the ocean instead of having to worry that Greenpeace is going to suddenly show up. Just saying.
50% of men in 2023 were single and not looking for any type of relationship or any type of interaction with women. And when they were surveyed, most of them...
I would say that's a good thing. I think that number needs to go up to 75%. How high do you think the number's going to have to be before women actually start to change, right? And start to proclaim that feminism was a mistake? See, because I don't think that any number will do it. I really don't. I don't think it's going to... Because... The main reason that women have gotten with men in the first place. I mean, I think that the state and the powers that be have so maximized and played upon women's want, need, desire for resources, and given them so many other ways to get them other than a man, and have so demonized the man, and have so made women so ill-equipped to give men what they need, and women now view men as such a pain in the butt because they don't have what's needed, required to deal with a man. They don't know how. It just seems like such a burden. I don't know that that number could ever get high enough in regards to single men before women say, you know what, maybe I need to change. I really don't. I just think that the sale of box wine and cat food and ferret food and other exotic pets and exotic pet foods and accoutrements for your exotic animals is just going to skyrocket. So if you're a man and you're looking for an investment, box wine, cat food, and kitty litter. That's the way to go. You'll make you a fortune. And you don't have to share it with her since you're going to be single, probably, based on this guy's analysis, which is good.
Admitted.
And then once you've got that kind of money, you can bang whatever broads you want. And pump them and dump them, essentially. But be careful, because, you might piss one of them off and they'll cry grape.
To just completely giving up on dating and relationships in general. We live in a time where we have social media, we have all of these different dating apps, we have this abundance of platforms and different ways that we can meet new people.
Only if you're a woman, not if you're a man. Only if you're a top-tier man do you have the same kind of opportunities and abundance that most women have through these mediums.
Yet there's more people that are single and admitting to be lonely than ever before. There was a study done by Morgan Stanley.
Well, more women. Maybe more men too, but a lot more women.
I got this from a Chris Williams.
Isn't it like twice as many women are using antidepressants than men or something? It's like some crazy number.
Some podcast, and it says in 2040, 45% of women aged between the ages of 25 and 40 will be single and childless.
So how many will it be? Will men? I wonder. Will it be like 60% of men? So. Wait a second, those numbers don't quite jive. Shouldn't it be equal with the amount of men that are single? Yeah. So there's some overlap there between the women and who they're all banging. Yeah, as we well know.
Those stats are pretty alarming, and you have to ask the question, how did we get here?
The reality is, dating keeps getting harder and worse. Men are walking away, and by 2030, nearly 45% of women will be single and lonelier than ever before. What this means is that antidepressant pills will be flying off the shelves, therapy sessions will be packed, and more women will be on social media trying to convince each other that being alone is freedom. But deep down, it's not freedom, it's emptiness. You can only post so many selfies, take so many trips, and repeat, "I don't need a man," so many times before the silence starts to sink in, because what they really wanted wasn't independence, it was connection. But you can't build connection when your pride keeps you from accountability. If nothing changes, that loneliness statistic won't stop at 45%. It'll keep climbing, because modern dating isn't built on love anymore. It's built on ego.
I don't think that number is going to reach a point where women are going to say, well, now I need to change my ideology, my worldview. Maybe I need to take some accountability, because they can still get free stuff from the state. They're still going to have beta, male, loser, orbiters who are going to give them money on OF, or we're going to send them money, who are going to help them out. We're going to buy them drinks and meals and tell them how beautiful they are at 350 pounds.
Entitlement and unrealistic expectations.
I'm going to tell you why the club scene is over. The club scene is over because men want to be women. And when I say men want to be women, they want to cut the...
I know the powers that be want men to be more feminine, because feminine creatures, feminine people, men and women alike, are, well, men that are more feminine are easier to control, for sure. And you disconnect the women from the men, and the women are therefore also easier to control. And they're also easier to control because once they've got the men out of their lives, they're more dependent on the state. And he becomes Big daddy.
Line.
And then the state controls the men through the women.
They want to go in with the promoter. They don't want to buy their drinks. They don't want to buy their bottle. They put on their best fit to impress other men. They're at this club to see this performer, to get a video that they were there and then talk about it for months that they know this performer.
That's women. We don't give a crap about social media. We really don't.
You know what I mean? They want to stand on stages with performers. Look at the Metro Boomin shit. That was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. At least if you're going to be a man that wants to stand on the booth, stand on the stage, stand at the section, at least bring a vibe. You're all just standing there looking at each other, clocking each other. I'm like, what's the point? And then...
What is the point? What the hell is she talking about, by the way? I mean, she sounds so materialistic and obsessed about nonsensical, idiotic stuff. I also don't take this chick at all seriously. I mean, the things that she cares about have nothing to do with finding a husband, getting married, having a family. This all sounds like Arrested Development. Just a lot of Arrested Development, quite purposeful in fact, and spending her entire life living in some kind of infantile world of self-pleasuring and validation from other people and not really accomplishing anything with your life except indulging hedonistic pleasures and continuing to do so, and everything you do enables you to do more of that. Seems pretty empty to me as far as life goes and existence, but hey, what do I know?
You have other people on here like, oh, girls don't wear heels anymore to the club because there's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to sit. You get to the promoter section, it's filled with the promoter's friends. The promoter will be like, oh, hey, like, you got to get up. Like, these women are here. Like, you got to get up. Like, these are the stars of the show. And they're having an attitude about it. And half the time when these guys do buy sections, they're standing on the couch. They don't even care about the girls in the club. They're not there to impress girls. They're there to impress other men, to post on their Instagram story. They're acting like
Their men are not posting Instagram stories. What are you talking about?
they bought a plot of land in the club. And I don't even go to the club anymore. But when I do work at the club, I've even noticed this myself. It's insane work. You're in a bathroom line, no guy's letting you cut. You're at the bar, no guy's offering to buy your drink. And
why would he? He knows it's not going to get him anything.
They don't even dance. Like, they don't even, like, what are you doing there?
Can you dance? You look like kind of a chunky monkey. I saw some of her arm there. It looked like it was quite chunky. A horrible tattoo there as well. So, a lot of red flags with this broad.
What are you doing there? It's
whacking herself in the head in a video. That's not a good sign.
So embarrassing. Like, it used to be the girls.
Oh, yeah, this video was an embarrassing. Yeah, okay.
Show. Like, the girls come in with all.
Those lips are fake, by the way. There's some collagen in those things.
All these promoters, all these table sections, put on their best birthday suit and pop.
What the hell does she do in a club? Is she like a server that's scantily dressed?
Outside. And they're the reason why big spenders in the club spend money. Like, if you have beautiful women and men willing to spend money, more money is spent with the beauty.
Well, she's such a genius. By the way, honey, this is what you gave up having a husband and children for? To work in a club? What a loser.
Beautiful woman. Not anymore. Not anymore. There's not even money to be made in the club because there's nobody on display besides these men.
Doesn't this sound like such a vapid existence? I almost feel sorry for this broad. She's been sold such a false bill of goods.
And their Amiri jeans and their borrowed chains posting for an Instagram story. It's actually embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed? And I knew this plague was upon us when I kept seeing the videos of all the men dancing on elevated platforms at Club Space. At Club Space. Fighting to be in the DJ booth with John Summit. Like, the math isn't mathing. And I think this.
Well, these old guys are the ones that got the money, honey, so maybe you should be kissing their asses so you can get some of it, right? I ain't too well disgusting for me. I bet your caboose ain't all that small, honey. You're carrying some junk in the trunk, I'm sure. And yet you're picky.
This is genuinely a reflection of where we're at as a society.
We agree with that.
Women are fighting for their role.
I don't agree with that. You're fighting. No, women don't have to fight for anything. That's part of the problem.
Crazy.
I think what these...
Crazy! Oh my God. What a harpy. Jesus Christ.
women are really afraid of is that a lot of men just don't worry or care about them the way they used to. That constant attention and validation they once got from men is disappearing, and that's what scares them. The idea that clubs are dying because men want to be women is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, these women, they have nothing else. They go from having all this attention, all this validation, all this constant me, that has fed this sense of entitlement, and now it's all disappearing. Well, what else have you got? Well, no kids. No husband. Uh-oh. Suddenly I'm starting to feel that gaping abyssal cavern of nothingness, and I didn't fill it with anything that could fill it. Uh-oh. What do I do? Start to complain on TikTok. Yeah.
These men aren't confused about who they are. They're just choosing to enjoy their lives without constantly chasing validation from women who don't appreciate it.
Correct.
Men are going out to enjoy themselves, to have fun with their friends, to...
That's if they go out. And if they go out, they're not going to a club like this. They're going to go to like a sports bar or something. So maybe that's where you should be going, honey. Oh, right. Going to have the bottle service and ridiculous tips that you used to get, but aren't getting anymore because you're old and have had to inject collagen into your lips, and even that's not helping anymore. Maybe you should go work at Hooters. Is Hooters still a thing? No. I think Hooters is out of business, isn't it? I think she's out of luck. Might have to get a real job, honey.
Relax after working hard all week. They're not there to spend their money trying to impress women who act like they're doing men a favor just by showing up. The dynamic has shifted. Men are realizing their worth too. They're understanding that peace, good company, and genuine fun are way more valuable than trying to impress someone who looks down on them.
Correct. I'll tell you what. I mean, I stopped doing this like 20 years ago. I just gave up entirely. It just wasn't worth the effort. It seemed like every time I put the effort out, it didn't get reciprocated. And just the laziness of women, the sense of entitlement, and the lack of actually putting in any effort into the relationship, it was just too much. And really, the sexual encounters, the one-night stands, or the short liaisons, they really didn't do it for me either. Maybe it does it for some people, but I find that I'm much happier, I'm more content. My happiness level really wouldn't, not really, but contentment, the quality of my life, better. I mean, I don't need to deal with the drama, the nonsense, and having to jump through hoops, and for what? Somebody who acts as if they're God's gift to men, and essentially, you should be happy just to be with them. Nah, man. I'm going to pass. And this video is a perfect example of that. But let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like my commentary in the raw, R-pilled way that I interpret things. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I hear it's good for the algorithm. I guess it is. Hit the notification bell, though I have people tell me that doesn't work, but you never know. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, also known as the MGT. Oh, you know, philosopher, because if you are a realist as a man, you are going your own, way. And if you're going your own way as a man, you definitely are a realist. I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.